Next on AM 1480 WLEA, the Newsmaker Show. Here's Brian O'Neill.
And as we've been saying on the news all morning long and even yesterday, because Republican County Chairman for Steuben County, Joseph Belitsky, was on yesterday, we moved Dr. Gary Ostrower to Thursday, and on with us this morning is Steuben County Democratic Chair Shawn Hogan. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning on this beautiful fall day.
Yeah, normally Gary Ostrower and I would be talking this day in history, well, at least some point in the show. Today's the anniversary of the stock market crash, so we'll have to catch up with Gary on that on Thursday. Wanted to have you on show to talk about the candidates who are on the Democratic ticket, who are running for office, have been working with four of the candidates to get them on. Most recently, I've been working by email with Democrat county lawmaker Randy Weaver and his Republican opponent Paul Van Castle. At this point, it looks like we might have them on next Monday, one day before the election. So we'll see how that works out. Shawn, your thoughts on all the races, starting with that one.
That'll be an interesting race. I know the Van Castle is kind of intimidating, excuse me, that Randy Weaver is not a resident of Hornell, and that's the farthest thing from the truth. He lives on 80 Genesee Street and or in his apartment building, and he happens to own a vacation home on Cuca Lake, and he spends time there. That should not be an issue. Randy has been a great representative for the city of Hornell. He is the voice of reason at the county legislature. He challenges, and speaks up about some of the issues that the Republican majority at the county level tries to sneak by, and Randy he speaks up. He's a voice, for common sense on the county legislature, and even though he's one of only three Democratic county legislators in the Steuben County, it's good to have a voice of opposition, or someone that's going to ask the poignant questions when it comes to county business. Van Castle, if he's elected, will just add to the Republican majority and really diminish the representation of the people in Steuben County who depend upon a contrary voice, so to speak, to question some of the programs or issues at the county. So I strongly support Randy Weaver. Randy has been a major investor in the city of Hornell with the Maple City Market. He still owns that property, which houses a fitness center and the doctor's office and another fitness area. Plus, he owns multiple properties in the city, and he's a very good landlord as far as maintaining his property. So, Randy is running for re-election. As you know, that the Republicans challenged his petitions on the Democratic line, and he was thrown off the ballot through a technicality. And he passed independent petitions, and he's running on the People's Party, We the People, and he'll be running on the independent line, We the People. Not independents, but independent, and his party line is We the People. So he's strongly supported by the Democrats, and he'll be a great representative for our community, and he is the incumbent. So I would not, if I was Hornellians, not send someone to add to the Republican majority, but send someone a voice that will question issues and programs that are presented to the county legislature in Bath.
Now, Shawn Hogan, in your answer there, you talked about the Republican majority in the county legislature. You said sometimes they try to sneak programs through, and that Randy Weaver, the Democrat in the political minority, is the voice of reason. Do any examples come to mind of anything that the Republicans, as you say, tried to sneak through?
He'll challenge budget issues, obviously, and they'll ask difficult questions in regards to funding of various departments and what those programs entail. So, that's what we need, someone who will ask those difficult questions and not just go along with the majority. So, for that reason, I wholeheartedly endorse Randy Weaver. He's been a great community-minded person. He's been involved. He's done a lot for charities in our community, and he is an outstanding citizen. So, I ask for people to look for him on We the People's line, and if they're so inclined to cast a vote in his favor.
Okay. Talking with Shawn Hogan, who's wearing his Steuben County Democratic chair hat this morning. Moving on to the Hornell races, Shawn.
Well, there are three contested races. We have number one running unopposed in the first ward, Melissa Ponicello, is running on a Democratic line. In the second ward unopposed is Jeff Brown. In the third ward, there's a contested race because Joe McKay, who is the Republican alderman from that ward, a very nice gentleman, is running for an open seat because Joe decided not to run again. So for that open seat, you have John Allison running as a first time for political office in the third ward, and he's being challenged by Molly Liberto. Both great people. They are political novices. John is a IBEW, a member of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. He is a business owner. He owns the car wash and subsequent properties on Park Drive. He took an old home on Maple Street and totally redid it as a credit to our community. And he is running for the first time, and he's working hard. He's taking it seriously. He's a young person with, 3 children, and he's, working hard, going door to door, meeting many of the residents of the third ward, and putting forth his case for office. We need young people like John Allison on the Common Council. It brings fresh ideas, perspective from labor and IBEW, and as a business person. So I wholeheartedly endorse John Allison for the third ward.
And let's see, next up. Apologies for the pause there. I had a lot of windows open on my computer there, Shawn. Next up, let's see, we have Democrat Rich Argentieri is unopposed. He's in the 4th ward. In the 5th ward, you've got a Republican Dan Warner on the council. He's unopposed. Then in the 6th ward, Jessica Cleveland is also unopposed. So that brings us to the 7th ward in Hornell, where we have Democrat Fred Lehman, who's the incumbent on the council there, and Republican Kevin Valentine, who's running against Fred Lehman.
What can I say about Fred Lehman? Fred, as you know, most of the people in his ward, and particularly in our city, know Fred experienced a tragic car accident a number of years ago. He's been confined to a wheelchair, and it's difficult for Fred because he has the disability that he has caused by the accident. But he gets out and he works and he's seen and he goes out in the snow and the rain. And when I was mayor of the city, it was an honor to have him be an alder person representing the 7th ward, because he really he really cares about his constituency, and he would call, and he would, advocate on behalf of his residents, and he would come out in the snow and ice and the rain, any weather, and attend meetings. He had a stellar attendance record. And Fred just is a committed person. He's not a political person. He is someone that really cares about the people in this ward. Great family man, great family, and a wonderful person. And I can't say enough about Fred Lehman. I think the people in the 7th Ward, really are lucky to have him as their representative. So I encourage everyone to get out there and pull the lever for Fred Lehman, because he is really a profile in courage.
Now we also have Republican Jim Bassage unopposed in the 9th Ward. In the 8th Ward. And then in the 9th Ward, Republican Steve Schinnebarger is facing opposition from Democrat Ron Naska.
Yeah, this is if you remember 2 years ago when Mayor Buckley ran for mayor and won the mayor's race, Steve Schinnebarger ran to fill that seat, as well as Ron Naska. It was a hard-fought race, and Steve Schinnebarger, Dr. Steve Schinnebarger, who happens to be my dentist, and Ron ran a good, clean race, and they're running a vigorous race this year. I mean, Ron was not successful last year, and he came right back. Ron is a real dedicated resident of the 9th Ward. Lives up on Grand Street, across the Grand Street Bridge. He is a father. He had 27 years of work at Alstom. He has a responsible position at Alstom, and he has been a community advocate for a number of years. And I know he's out working hard. He's going door to door. He's trying to talk to as many people he can. And that'll be a tough race. Anytime you come up against an incumbent, it's going to be tough. But, I think that Ronnie has been very visible. And certainly we support Ronnie, and I endorse him for that position. And, I ask the voters to consider him and really recognize that he is not a quitter and that he wasn't successful 2 years ago, but he's back on that horse. And that shows his commitment to his ward and his city. And I think he has something to offer the voters of the 9th Ward.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We are talking with Steuben County Democrat Chair Shawn Hogan as part of the equal time rule. And we've been talking about the Hornell races and the county race for legislature. And we'll take a quick break. We'll come back in just a moment, and we'll get into, among other things, the Tracy Matrano race for Congress. Stay with us.
It's October, and the holidays will be here in no time. So now is the time to get that new floor installed before the guests arrive. At Mullen Factory Direct Floor Covering in Almond, they stock over 400,000 square feet of flooring. If you need carpet, vinyl, laminate, or hardwood, Mullen's got it. Quality and durable floor coverings. And your new floor can be installed by their professionals right now with no box store wait. Special financing including 0% interest is available too. Mullen Factory Direct Floor Covering in Almond. Stop by and let them floor you.
Checking in now with meteorologist Rob Carroll, who says today's going to be okay, but
big changes head our way, and it is a but with a capital B. We are really going to turn cool by the weekend, Brian. We stay relatively mild through the end of the month, and then a very powerful cold front sweeps across the area early in the day on Friday. That ushers in much colder weather that's going to be with us probably for a week or two to start off November. November looks like it starts cooler than normal, and then I think after the 15th of the month, we'll start to see a tendency to warm up a little bit. But the next couple of days, not too bad in regards to our temperatures. Today, we'll have clouds along with some sunshine from time to time. We're going to be 60 to 65. That's above normal for this time of year. Sunrise earlier this morning was at 7:40. The sun will set tonight at 6:06. Keep in mind, we go back to standard time. We set our clocks back 1 hour Saturday night. Tonight we'll have clouds. There may be a shower. Overnight we're 45 to 50. Clouds for tomorrow, the risk of a shower 60. Scattered showers in 50 to 55 for tomorrow night. Then rainy, breezy Thursday, 60 to 65. Brian, it looks very windy Thursday night and on into Friday morning. And that's going to usher in daytime highs on Friday only in the 40s.
Rob, do you have a sense of how the winter's going to look yet?
Yeah, Brian, we've been actually working on our long-range forecast, and we'll actually have that information all pulled together Thursday. It looks like probably a cool start to November, milder temperatures the second half of the month. December may average out a little bit warmer than normal. I don't think we'll have too many snowy days in December, and it looks like the worst of the winter is probably going to be sometime between January 21st and about the 10th of March, and we think snowfall is going to come in for the winter at or above normal.
Okay, thanks a lot, Rob.
You got it, sir.
I'm back with Steuben County Democratic Chair Shawn Hogan. We should talk about the state Supreme Court race there with Meredith Vacca, the Democrat state Supreme Court judge candidate.
Yeah, Meredith Vacca is a young prosecutor from Monroe County. She works in the district attorney's office and has handled violent criminal crimes and prosecuted those in Monroe County. And she is thrown her hat in the ring. She was late into the race because of some technicalities, but the court ruled that her back on the ballot. So she's back out. She's been to Steuben County. She's attended a couple of functions here in Steuben County. And she's a very, very brilliant young jurist. And I ask voters to really take a look at the Democratic line. You can vote for 3 judges. You have your choice of 3. But I ask voters to look to the Democratic line and to pull the lever for Meredith Vacca. VACCA, a very brilliant jurist, very tough prosecutor, and I ask people to look to that line. You can vote for 3 Supreme Court justice candidates. I would say, number 1, she's a woman, and I think we need more women on the bench. And number 2, that's not because of our rural area and the strength of the Republican Party in our rural areas, they have a tendency to pack the bench with Republicans. Let's level the playing field, and I ask people to vote for Meredith Vacca.
Shawn, do we have any other odds and ends, any other items in the race, in the county races or local races or Hornell races before we move on to the topic of Tracy Matrano?
Well, yeah, Brian. I'm trying to tell you that this year in Steuben County is a record year for the number of Democrats running for office at the local level. We have candidates in Irwin. We have candidates in town of Urbana. We have a number of candidates. We have one running for town supervisor in Urbana and town council. We have people running in the towns around Corning and Caton and Hornby, Irwin. So this I've never seen in all my years involved as a Democratic chairman the number of candidates. It's historic that we have this many Democratic candidates running for office in Steuben County.
Do you think it's Trump related?
What's that?
Do you think that's related to Washington politics, President Trump?
I think it is. A lot of it's related to that. A lot of people are upset about what they see in Washington, and they're frightened, which, politically motivated a lot of them. But most of the issues they're talking about are local issues. And as Tip O'Neill said, all politics is local, and it's right. I think we're all in this together as people. That's why I try to be respectful and not belittle or attack other people, because that's not my style. But we're all in this together, and when people step up to the fray and put themselves on the line, and I know some of our candidates have been subjected to some pretty nasty response from people when they go door to door, and they take it well, and they thank the people, and they move on. And we've got to become more respectful of each other, and we also have to, practice, a little bit about our Judeo-Christian ethics, is that be good, be kind to each other. All this other stuff is just white noise. Let's work together, and everyone do the right thing. We'll have a better community and a better state and a better world. So I just asked everyone to have a sense of fairness, sense of community, vote for the person that they support, but get out and vote.
Okay, we'll save the Tracy Matrano topics for next time. We've been talking with Steuben County Democratic Chair Shawn Hogan. Shawn, thanks so much for coming on.
Always a pleasure, Brian.